Hey everyone, this is Mike Andes, and you're listening to the Business Bootcamp podcast. Thank you to today's sponsor for the show, and that is FreshBooks. If you haven't already, go to freshbooks.com/bootcamp and get a free 30-day trial, or you can just put in that "How did you hear about us?" section, put in Business Bootcamp podcast. They really help us support the show, and one of the reasons why I recommend everyone have a CRM, a customer relationship management tool like FreshBooks, is because of something that happened just a few days ago. If you heard my last episode, I was talking about some negative online reviews that we had gotten, and how I was wanting to bury those by giving voice to the people who were positive and liked the company and had something good to say. And so what we did is we were able to use our CRM tool and have all their contact information from all the clients that we've ever serviced, not only serviced, but also just the ones that have ever come into our retail location. And we were able to send them all an email and ask for a review if they would, if they'd like to do so. And about 95% of those were all positive reviews that came in. We've gotten so far probably about 25 over several platforms like Google, Facebook, let's see here, Yelp, and Angie's List. It's actually more like 30 almost that we received from that email. And without a CRM that collects all that customer data, collects their name, their email address, phone number, physical address, all of that stuff, we would not have been able to do that. And so that's why I encourage you, if you don't, like, some of the most valuable information that your business has is your customer data. And like when you are getting acquired or you're trying to buy a company or whatever, like a customer database is very, very important and very valuable. So check out freshbooks.com/bootcamp if you don't have a CRM and you're trying to organize your business and keep that valuable data within your company. freshbooks.com/bootcamp. Now, I'm going to be talking today about some things that I've been just thinking about in business in general. Right now, I'm out next to the beach. You can probably hear the waves crashing in. It's about 7 o'clock. My office, or the first office in Blaine, is about a mile from the beach. And so I come down here a lot. You've heard a couple of the podcast episodes have been where I'm down at the water here. You can hear the waves. And that's because, like I said, after a long day of work and stressful stuff going on, it's nice to come down here and just relax and unwind, and nothing like some crashing waves to do that. So it's about 7:08 right now. So beautiful day here. It's a little over 70 degrees and just a nice, really nice day. So that's good. Now, I do want to talk to you a couple things that I've been musing about in the business world, things that I think that are important for everyone out there to hear, none of which you probably haven't already heard about in the news. One of which is Amazon buying Whole Foods. I think this is a game changer. I think most people aren't going to recognize how big this is until about 5 or 10 more years. So if you haven't heard it already, Amazon bought Whole Foods. Whole Foods has like 450 or so locations. As far as like it's kind of like a small town grocer, not like a warehouse style supermarket. A little smaller, higher prices, focusing on premium products and really healthy alternatives, whole foods, things like that. But then also serving a regular kind of grocery market sort of theme. And so why do I think this is important? Because I think in Amazon, if you talk to any Amazon Prime member that uses it on a very, very consistent basis and uses it for most of their shopping, the one thing they say is that the grocery side of Amazon is lacking somewhat. It's a lot of just canned goods, things that really doesn't save you a whole lot of money, is kind of it's not the things that you buy on a daily basis. You can't buy milk on there. You can't buy fresh vegetables. And if you do, it's like there's services that do that out there, Instacart and other things. But like you can't choose the type of fruit you want and things like that. So I believe that Amazon, the reason they're doing this is to kind of fix that flaw. And it's been a nut that many companies have tried to handle, and that is delivering food to people's addresses or ordering food online. And many startups have tried and failed, but Amazon has the scalability. They have the Prime membership to back up this service, and they have the buying power to drive the prices to be competitive. And so I truly believe that they're trying to grow out the grocery market as far as ordering online. Their Prime membership is going to become extremely valuable if they can figure this out. And I think that what is most interesting about this deal is just a couple months ago, Amazon, which Amazon's headquarters is down in Seattle, or a big part of their headquarters, and that's a couple of hours south of where I'm at. And they built a store down there just a couple months ago. And you can look it up on YouTube. Just Google a grocery store Amazon, and they created a sort of a prototype store for just their employees at their headquarters in Seattle. And what that store does is there was no humans manning the tills, stocking shelves. It was all done by robots, and all the checking out was completely done by scanners and completely done through an Amazon account. Someone walks in, they just choose what they want, they throw it into their basket, they walk out, and instantly when they walk out, it's charged on their Amazon account. They don't have to have a credit card, they don't need to talk to anyone, they don't need to check out, they don't need to wait in line. They just go pick what they want, and because of the scanners and the robots and the cameras and everything are all sensors, all of that is in place, the system, the software knows what they are putting in their cart, what they're taking out, and charges them accordingly, making it efficient, quick, easy. And it's all done, like the robots stock the shelves, everything's done without human interaction, which is a huge cost. The labor cost is huge in the grocery market. And so when you do that, you're gonna be able to reduce your prices just incredibly. And that's why on the day that Amazon bought Whole Foods, that the stock prices for Costco and Walmart and Target, all these massive supermarkets that have dominated the market for years, they all plummeted between like 5 and 15%. These, and they're continuing to drop even last couple weeks, last few days, their stock prices are continuing to drop because people are afraid that Amazon's going to do to the grocery industry what they did to the bookstore industry, what they did to movies, what they did to delivery, like delivering stuff via Prime, 2-day shipping. Like, they are very, very concerned, and I think it just shows a lack of ingenuity and a lack of innovation in the grocery market space for when a big player like Amazon comes in, for people to be all of a sudden scared. It's like, I heard Gary Vaynerchuk say this, and that is, some taxi company should have created Uber, and Hampton Inns should have created Airbnb. But because they got lazy, and then because they got complacent, they got okay, they kind of got fat and lazy and didn't innovate as much. Because they did that, someone else came along with the innovation, with the creativity, and wiped them out. They wiped out the taxi services. They're completely revolutionizing the hotel and accommodation industries with Airbnb. Like, these companies are changing industries completely. But Walmart should have created whatever Whole Foods and Amazon's going to do in the next few years. Walmart should have done that. Costco should have done that. Like, they've been just sitting on it though for years. Walmart's one of the largest supply chains, massive amounts of money, cash involved. They could have invested that. They could have been light years ahead of Amazon because of their power in the supply chain and with vendors. They could have been way ahead, but because they got lazy. I think what you got to learn from that is, if you're doing good in your business, if you're just raking in the dough, if you're not growing though, and if you're not constantly changing, if you're not trying to put yourself out of business, if you're not asking yourself, how can I possibly go out of business today, whether it be a competitor or some new technology or some new innovation or someone that's new coming into the market, who's going to put you out of business? And you should be the one putting yourself out of business. Like I said, Hampton should have created Airbnb or some other hotel chain. Marriott, the taxi cabs, they should have been the one that created Uber. Put yourself out of business, be innovative yourself, and create the technologies that are going to revolutionize your industry. Don't get fat and lazy. Like, I am already thinking about the lawn care and landscaping industry. If I'm going to be in this for 10, 15 years, how are robots going to change this? There's already robots that are mowing lawns. How is that going to change the industry, and how can I take advantage of that instead of letting it wipe me out, or figuring out in 10 years that that's the way things are going to go, and then being late to the trend and watching my business get wiped out? How can I think about those trends? And yes, it is 10, 20 years out before I think robots are going to be mowing lawns as a regular thing. But I got to start thinking about that, because that's what the taxi cab should have been thinking about. They should have been thinking about ride sharing and what Uber does. They should have been thinking about it years and years ago. And so that's what I think about Amazon, and that's what I think about Whole Foods deal that they made, is that it's going to be completely automated stores in the future that are just like this prototype store that they made, where it is completely robotic. It's completely done by scanners, and there is no human interaction needed. It can also be delivered within 2 days, or now I think it's going to be 2 hours. They essentially have bought 430 something stores of Whole Foods, which in other words, they've also bought 430 or whatever, 450 distribution centers for all of this warehousing of groceries. And so by doing that, their footprint into these urban markets where a lot of these Whole Foods are at, now they've suddenly got all these distribution centers where they're within just a mile of a massive population of the country. Like literally, if you take a 2-mile radius around every single Whole Foods store in the country, I'm sure a massive percentage of the country's population is within that radius because it's in urban markets, where these Whole Foods are at. And so if you think about it, with what they're doing with delivering via drones and trying to make delivery within an hour, you think about that. If you want a bag of potato chips from your local Whole Foods owned by Amazon, and you can get that within 20-30 minutes because they're only a mile away from you, like, why would you go to the store? Why would you go to the corner store? Why would you go to Walmart? And so I think this is incredible what's happening with Amazon. And the other thing that I want to mention today on the podcast before I let you go is another interesting way of marketing. And I found it recently, and I've really been watching this company, and that's Samsung. I think I think Apple, created the iPhone or whatever, but Samsung wins in innovation as far as, yes, maybe they copied some of the hardware on the phone. You can argue all of those things. You can say they copycat a lot of the design features, whatever. But you have to give them credit for the way they market their products. Like the Galaxy S8, it came out, looks beautiful, great design, all of that. But the way they market it is incredible. It's very new for a company of their size, and that is they doubled down on YouTubers and influencer marketing, which I think is the new age of marketing, is influencer marketing. What they did, if you go onto YouTube right now, you see the ads that they're running. It's not just like cool ads of their phone and all of that. It's like a lot of YouTube celebrities that are reviewing the product, and they're making sure that they get their phones in their hands, making sure that they shoot entire vlogs with just the S8 as a way to market the incredible camera that it has, and the video quality that it takes, and the waterproof ability. And they are making all of their ads around YouTube celebrities. In other words, they're creating marketing around influencers, and it's incredible. Like the way they're doing this, it seems so native for a vlogger to shoot an entire vlog, and everything is just the same as normal. But then at the very end, all it says is this entire video, every single shot was shot or was filmed with just a Galaxy S8 phone. I keep saying iPhone. A Galaxy S8 phone. The power of that is incredible. That entire audience, it's completely native. It doesn't seem like it's interrupting their life. They enjoy the vlog. They enjoy the videos. They enjoy the content. They enjoy the influencer that they always are following. And for that native advertising to be so ingrained and is incredible. I think the S8 is going to be one of their best models. I know it's a pretty new model that's just come out. I think it's going to be a big hit simply because of their marketing. I don't think it's a massive innovation as far as technology, whatever. I think right now iPhones and phones in general, cell phones, incremental technology increases on each model. And I think within maybe 5 years that might change. Something new is going to come out with VR or something like that. But for now, the changes in technology between, say, the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 7, the camera quality or whatever, it's incremental, right? But I think what's separating Samsung on this model is the way they've marketed it, the way they've made it so seamless on YouTube that if you go to YouTube, you literally cannot get away without watching some video from some influencer that's on the trending videos, or their ad, which just highlights all of these YouTube stars, which people have watched. And remember, people buy from the people that they know, like, and trust. And that's what Samsung is tapping into. And I think it's very, very interesting. And I think it's something that small businesses are going to get more and more involved in. And I know that my business, we've got to start focusing on that more. Yes, I've been pushing Facebook ads for like the past 6 months to a year, like big time. I still think there's lots of value in that. But I think influencer marketing in your local area, like for Samsung, obviously they have a global market, so it's and they have a massive budget. But I think it gets really interesting for small businesses who have a demographic of just like, your local area, to reach out to local influencers on Instagram, Facebook, these different sites, even for younger demographics, Snapchat, but especially right now Instagram, Facebook for an older demographic, and really reaching out to them and saying, hey, I'll do XYZ service for free, or I'll clean your house, I'll mow your lawn, I will you make websites, I'll make you a new free website if you do a post on your social or whatever it is, you make a video or whatever, do a picture on Instagram. I think that's the new way of marketing, and that's what's going to dominate in the next 5 to 10 years. And I think Samsung's one of the first companies I think has done it really, really effectively, really, really well. And it's going to be interesting to see how that turns out. So a couple of my musings today, just kind of what I've been thinking about in the business world. I hope it was you got something out of it and learned something from it. If you haven't already, you got to check out landscapebusinesscourse.com. I'm giving away my course now for free. Only thing you have to buy now is the software. So it's $247 instead of the original $697. Now the $247 just covers the software that you get as part of the package. And so check that out if you are looking to start your business in the landscaping field. And it's definitely been a huge growth factor for a lot of people. They started the software and started the course like back in October, I think December. December is when it went up for sale. So it's only been about 6 or 7 months, but we've already seen people that have doubled their revenue in their company, have started out and really begin to see, quit their 9 to 5, like just a massive amount. I think at the year anniversary of the course, I'm going to do an entire episode on just like people that have what's happened in the past year, how the course has kind of changed the way they look at their business model, profitability, things like that. So that's going to be really interesting. So if you haven't already, landscapebusinesscourse.com. The course is only $247, and that just covers the cost of the software, and you get all the templates, everything you need to know to start a landscaping business. As for me, like, we're starting our second location. We are over $100,000 in revenue a month. We're shooting to try to create the second location that can easily do triple what we do at our current location, and trying to prove that the concept works in a larger market. So like literally as I'm recording this tomorrow, excavation starts on the second location. We got to grade the 2 acres. We got to put in like 200 or 300 yards of gravel to get it all hardened up. Got to put in like blocks. Got to do a whole bunch of stuff. And so if you want to hear more about that, I'm doing that, just go to Landscape Business Course Podcast. Now this is totally free, the podcast. You can just hear exactly, I'll give more details to what I'm doing with the second location, how things are progressing there. So check it out, and you'll hear everything what I'm doing with Augusta Lawn Care Services. So until next episode, everyone, be great. Nothing else pays. And I do appreciate each and every one of you for listening, taking your time out of your day to listen to this podcast, Business Bootcamp Podcast. And I'm signing off.